The number of women in the U.S. Senate will remain at an all-time high of 17 in the next Congress, and one female member was defeated in November. That was Democrat Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas, but another was elected, Republican Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire. Well, our senior congressional correspondent Dana Bash spoke exclusively with a woman who's more experienced in the ways of the Senate than any other.
Suzanne, when the new Congress is sworn in, Maryland Democrat Barbara Mikulski will become the longest-serving female senator in history, surpassing Republican Margaret Chase Smith, who served in the 1950s and 60s. Mikulski invited me to her office for an exclusive interview to talk about her milestone and how different things were for women in Congress not that long ago.
And he was so helpful.
Barbara Mikulski remembers what a man's world the Senate was when she came 24 years ago.
There's this place called the Senate Gym, the locker room. Well, they just couldn't accommodate me, and I'm not much of a jock anyway.
And a lot of business was done there, right?
Well, that's where they networked, and that's where they bonded.
The first female Democratic senator elected in her own right, Mikulski was only one of 2 Senate women in 1986.
What you wore became a very big deal.
In what way?
I'm most comfortable wearing slacks. Well, for a woman to come on the floor in trousers was viewed as a seismographic event. I had to alert Senator Byrd that I was going to do it. The Senate parliamentarian looked at the rules to make sure it was okay, and I kind of walked on that day, and you would have thought I was walking on the moon. It caused a big stir.
The girl who dreamed of being a scientist, not a senator, became the first woman on key Senate committees and in leadership by showing she's as smart and tough as the men.
That's a question you needed to know from day one, Ms. Jackson. When I came, it was very clear that I was going to work twice as hard, do my homework.
Mikulski is about to become the longest-serving female senator ever. She is already known as the Dean of Senate Women.
I take it very seriously. I see that it's my job to be able to organize the women in a way where their talents are served.
When 4 more Senate women were elected in 1992, Mikulski took it upon herself to show them the ropes, something she still does for new female senators in both parties.
There is no training program when you arrive here. Usually it's been every man for himself, but I'm going to be every woman, each one teach one. So I organized a power workshop. The media said, "Are you having a tea?" I said, "No, it's about power."
She's quite proud of this pen.
It was the first bill that President Obama signed.
A bill she pushed through the Senate, giving women equal pay for equal work.
He said, "This pen is yours." So I have the very first pen of the very first piece of legislation signed by the very first African-American president of the United States. It is indeed a national treasure.
She shows us other prized possessions, pictures with fellow female senators, now 17 in all, who still meet monthly for off-the-record dinners.
And there are more women sitting on this chair than had served in all of American history when I arrived.
She calls that a stunning accomplishment, in contrast to a stunning statistic. There have only been 38 female senators in history. Mikulski now becomes the woman to stay the longest. Dana Bash, CNN, Capitol Hill.